Okay, so today, hello everyone. Today, the problem, data structure problem, is on array. One more good problem, and the problem is a very common problem, which is called product array except self. You see here, given an integer array nums, you have to return an array answer such that answer I is equal to the product of all elements of nums except num I. It's very simple. So, for example, we're talking at index 1. So you see this is output array, which is an answer array. So index 1, it's 12, but how it is 12? You see here, excluding 2, if you multiply 3 times 4 times 1, it's 12. Similarly, excluding 1, over here, you multiply 2 times 3 times 4, it's 24, right? And all like that. I create one class, which is product of array except self. Yeah, copy this. Okay. Class uh class level comments, and then I'll write main method. As usual, it it is very easy if we just write segregate our whole um method, whole code in three blocks. Always there are three sections, or you can say three workflows, which always work in any particular problem statement. You have a problem, you find and do some logic to solve the problem, and then you get an output. So here we go. When it comes to array, I think we can just copy this as a sample array, and I go here, uh, int, it's an array, I say it's nums, and then I just paste this. When it comes to logic, I would say int, again an array, I call it um, results, all right. And then is equals to what? I just, let's say, product of array except self, and I pass nums here, and that's pretty much. Yeah, so there is a typo. Let me correct this typo. Rename, where is this? So accept. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much. Now I need to just output for, let's say I, and I say result dot length, and then I just do this out result I. Yeah. So now let's go and create this method. Now it's there. So what we have to do in this particular problem. So as we already see that for every particular result, or let's say output array at every particular index, what we are targeting? We're targeting all the elements which are left, all the elements which are right, excluding the element at the current index position. Meaning we have to maintain something which is left, which should calculate the product of left and right, right? So what we can do, I mean, it's coming for example, it's the very brute force thing which is coming in our mind is like, let's say we have a left array and then we have a right array, and then we just make those left and right array, and at the end we can just prepare the final answer, which is taking left and right array and multiplying every index, every element, and then writing it into another array, which could be result array, and then then solving the problem. So what I'm saying, we are saying here we are maintaining three arrays: one for storing the result, other for storing left elements, uh, and then other for right elements. So do you guys think we can do it with only one array, like not having uh, two arrays, for example, left and right? Because this will definitely solve our, improve the efficiency of the program, right? So rather than maintaining left and right array, uh, can we do it inline? So yeah, let me first explain you on a very high level pseudocode what I said with left and right array. So what I'm saying, make left array, okay, and in this array, what we will do, this array will contain, okay, all products of elements with the which is left to that element in index. Okay, so something like, for example, I would say left I uh, is equals to left of I minus 1 into left of I minus uh, 1. So this is num of I minus 1. Yeah. So what is said, right? So it's very simple here to see this particular problem. So what it says, we are making a left array, and that left array will have all the products. So for example, let's talk about I index. So this will always start with 1 because there is no element to the left. Now when we start with 2, so it will have the product of this, okay, and the element which is at I minus 1, like uh, this is the 1 element, and whatever previous element we have, that particular thing, right? So uh, I will do it in two ways, but I'll try to explain you both solutions so that you see what I'm trying to say here. So let me first write it the simple solution, which is length length. Now I make three arrays. As I said, left is equals to new int n, and then I copy it, and then I copy it. This is right, and this is answer, right? And now, as I said, uh, calculate left products. So what I'm doing for I, and over here I said I less than n, and this time what it's doing, left of I is equals to left of I minus 1 multiplied by nums I minus 1. Okay, as simple as that. So why we said left of, okay, over here, this is very important because we have to start at least give something to the zero index, because there is no element to the left of, when we start the left array, there is no element to the left of. So we will start with 1, and then this particular thing will start with 1 because zero index already covered with 1, right? There is no element to the left of, zero index. So this is how it works. Uh, yeah, so this is left. I just copy this, and it will be simple. Again, we say it right, uh, and s- and instead of 0, it would be n minus 1 because we are writing starting from back, and this would be n minus 2, and this should be greater than equals to 0, right? And then it will be minus minus. And instead of this, I will write right, right, and this will be I plus 1, right? Because we are starting from back. And then this will be I plus 1. So this is the right array. And then we have to just calculate. Let's write. Now we have to write calculate answer array, which is very simple. Again, one more loop. I just copy this loop. And as I said, we will be just doing simple what I should say, like uh, for loop, which will start with 0 and then end with less than n, and then it should do plus plus, and now it will be answer. So answer is what? Left of I into right of I, and everything else is not needed, right? So yeah, and return answer. It's That's it. So yeah, this is very simple, wherein we are trying to say that, hey, I want to calculate multiplication, or let's say product of array except self. So in that case, I always see that this is always gonna, consider left and right. So I'll maintain two arrays, and then we can solve this particular problem, this way. And if you run this particular problem, it will run. And you see here, I see 24000, which is okay. There is some problem. Let me check what's wrong here. So my answer array is this. Okay. Now left is this, left I minus 1, and nums I minus 1, right n minus 1 equals to 1, I is equals to n minus 2, greater than 0, I minus minus, right I plus 1, nums I plus 1, and then I is equals to 0, I less than 1. Okay, here is the problem. I need to write n. So I got this. And now you see 24, 12, 8, and 6. And what is the expectation here? 24, 12, 8, and 6. And let me quickly change this to this sample. And let me do it right away and run this program again. It says 00900, 00900. So it's absolutely working fine. But can we still improve this question? Like, the very brute force always comes like this, but in interviews it is not expected to give answer. Like, of course you can definitely start with an idea, but in order to convince the interviewer, you should not write this code. Instead, you can just say, this is the brute force which is coming in my mind, and then come to an optimized way. So what I'm trying to do we really need these left and right array? Can't we do something inline? So let's do it inline, right? So I'll write another, I would say, uh, result array, which should do the same, but it should do it inline, right? Result inline. And then let's say, inline. And I just create a particular method. Okay. Now, let me quickly do this again the same way as, so let me quickly copy this. My target here is not to use nums left and right array, only answer array. How we will achieve this, you will see. So what is answer array? So I will say my target is first to maintain, calculate my answer array with all the left. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this, okay? And let me copy this also, so that you know what is my intention, right? So calculate ref product. So what I'm saying, I will use my left answer array as my left array for iteration 1, and then I will just store everything which is coming in from the left. And then for right, again I will say what I will do this time, uh because I would like to use my same answer array, but this time I would like to consider all the right elements, correct? So it simply means I have to use here, let me quickly remove this. So I have to start from back, and then it should be greater than equals to 0. That's right. And then over here, oh, sorry, this is my answer array, answer. And what I'm trying to say, this answer I should be equal to whatever answer I already contain multiplied by the current, uh, I would say, so let's say my Uh, okay. How should I do it? So let's say my answer array already have some numbers. Now I'm trying to update my answer array with all the elements which is coming in right. So I'm starting, let's say, from the very rightmost element. I want my rightmost element to be multiplied by the current element in the answer array. Correct? So multiplied by uh, right products. So whatever right products we have. So let's say I'm maintaining my right products, let's say with something called right elements product. Let's say I start this with 1. Okay. So I'm multiplying this with always with my, whatever right product. So what I'm trying to say, I am maintaining a variable which should have the product of all the right elements, okay, starting from the back. So initially there is no rightmost element to to the rightmost element. There should not be any element outside of that. So that's why we say it 1. And now we will last index of my answer should always have, multiplied it by 1. But now when we move a little bit back, like n minus 1 element, let's say, in that case, what will come? There will be a situation where we have to update this right. So I would say right elements product, it should be equals to right element products multiplied by nums of I, right? So that's how it works. So these are simple, very, very straightforward, tricky, statements. Return answer. All right. So let me quickly switch this and I will quickly copy this. And instead of result inline, I just do result inline, result inline. So now I will just try to run the problem, the same solution again. I mean, let me check both. So over here. Hmm. Okay. So there is something which we need in between. So instead of ln, let me do this and plus add this plus add this, right? And then over here, let me just, yes, one line. And now I run the problem again. So you see here 00900. Okay, it's working. And now if I just copy this and paste it here and run the problem again. So you see it's working, right? So with this, we got to know that these both solutions are working, but the uh, you know how these two solutions are making an impact in terms of space, complexity is something which is really, really important. So now talking to the space complexity here. So we have not considered, I mean, in this particular solution, if we talk where we have left and right array, the space complexity of O of k for iteration. But over here, because we have not used, any, I would say, uh, left and right. So we have saved a bit into the space complexity part. So let me write here quickly the space and time complexity. So time complexity, this will always be O of n because we are iterating. And then space complexity would be O of 1 we can consider because output array is not, we are not considering output array as counted. So yeah, that's, I mean, we can, uh, on a very high level, we can save here. Okay, so let me quickly take this solution and try to play the solution with my IntelliJ and see how it works. We have not used any data structure, so it should be fine. I run the problem and see how it works. It's accepted, submitted. All right, so you see here, this particular problem is accepted. All the tests are passed. Thank you very much. I see you guys in the next video. Bye.